Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And I'm outside again today. I'm always outside working out here on the homestead until it gets too hot. And then I'm inside working. You all, in fact, I had to do some rearranging for some videos that I'm about to bring to you all on something new that we're doing on the homestead. But I had to do some rearranging to make that happen because, you know, our house is really small. So space is a commodity. You know, we have to make things work the best way that we can, right? Like many of you have to do. But anyway, you all, today's topic, you saw the thumbnail. Don't y'all start. Y'all left way from over there to come over here and do this. I need y'all to go on that way. I guess they felt like they haven't been heard in a while. But anyway, you all, y'all saw the thumbnail. Y'all saw the thumbnail. I'm like, what? You have got to be kidding me. Y'all, 3 pounds of ground turkey. 3 pounds of ground turkey. I think I may, in the community tab, do a close-up of that label so you can act, because in one picture you can see the ground turkey and the price, but you can't see it really close up. So I think what I'm going to do in the community post, because I'm not going to edit this video to add a picture, I think I'm going to post a picture of that label close up so you can see the price and how many pounds and the date on that label. Okay, so now when that label was put out versus when it was actually printed, I don't know. All right, but that's what Mr. H took a picture of. But y'all saw it. 3 pounds of ground turkey. That's almost $17 for 3 pounds, right? That's nearly $6 a pound. Nearly $6 a pound for ground turkey. That's not even organic. Now, I told y'all in the last video, the workers ain't got nothing to do with that, right? Because we all got to look at the same thing. What are we willing to pay? I don't even know if the workers still get that little 10% discount or not. But even that 10% discount, that don't add up to be very much. Not with these prices. That discount that Walmart workers would have to get would have to increase by a lot in order for it to even make a difference really nowadays, for the way that we have suffered from inflation, shrinkflation, right? Shrinkflation. Shrinkinflation. That's what it's called, shrinkinflation. Yeah. But you all, I'm telling you, what are we willing to pay? Like, what are we willing to do? How far are we willing to go? How much money are we willing to pay for this food? I can't wait to do this video with Mr. H. I can't wait. We're going to go live and talk about it because we want to get your feedback. We want to get your input on it. We want to have a conversation with everybody. So I'm looking forward to that live. And when he said that he wanted to do this topic and discuss this with everybody, I got super, super excited. I was like, yes, let's do that. That was an excellent idea. Let's do that. You know, so he hasn't said whether it was going to be Saturday or Sunday, but we're going to let you all know exactly when we're going to go live and talk about this amazing topic that Mr. H came up with. But you all, how much are you willing to pay for ground turkey? At what point does it become like, okay, sweetheart, we can't afford that, so we're going to have to look into some other options? And do you know, it seemed like the prices on the things that are best for you, you know, especially when you're trying to eat as healthy as you can, these these are the price, these are the costs of these things are really skyrocketing. When you go and look at a pack of ramen noodles, I think they are still like what, 40 cents, 35, 40 cents a package, I think, I'm not sure. But when you look at a pack of ramen, they're not increasing at the rate that fresh fruits and vegetables and your ground meats and turkey and beef and chicken, they're not increasing like that. You can get the worst foods for almost the same price as they was a year ago. But if it's something that you really need to give yourself a good caloric intake, something that will really help to sustain you, those things have tripled in price, many of them. What's going on here? Hold on. Who under here? Okay, these kittens are playing tag on the axle of the truck. Oh, I tell you the truth. I thought it was Grizzly under here rolling around, but no, it's these kittens out here. You're it. But yeah. Everything else that's not good for you seems to be staying close to the price that it once was. And if anything that is great for you, those things seem to be, skyrocketing, right? While the packaging goes from this. Remember the logs of ground chuck that you used to can get about this long, right? And you might have paid 15, 16 bucks for it, right? But now that log of ground chuck or whatever it is like this now, and you still paying $15 for it. Yeah, so that's where we are. But at what point is it like enough is enough? At what point do you say, okay, no? At what point do you be like, no, we need a new game plan? We need a new game plan. We need a new meal plan, a new meal prep, right? We can't prep all these fancy meals for the week, for the month, or however people prep for meals. We can't prep like that anymore when people do meal preps. Now we got to change this game plan now. Because at this cost, if I keep doing it this way, I won't even be able to afford to pay just to live, to keep a roof over the head and fuel in the tank at them prices. So at what point do we say that's it? We got to change the way we are buying food. We got to change the way our meals look every day. And I even mentioned at some point, as adults, Mr. H and I, we practice eating one meal a day, have been doing so for decades. But at what point do we all be like, okay, we need to do some cutting back? No more breakfast, brunch, lunch, snack, dinner, supper, snack. At some point, we have to start cutting back. And our meals may have to start looking a little bit different than the way we're used to them looking. So, yeah. But tell you what I thought about, you all. The cost of raising turkeys versus the cost of buying it out of the store. If you were to buy hatching eggs, I'm not going to even tell you to buy the chicks. Hey, Lynx, boy, you look pretty big running through that grass like that. I had to see what you was. Running full speed toward me. I'm like, what is it? It's Lynx. Seems like this cat get bigger every day. But you all, if you were to just buy hatching eggs, build yourself a little hoop coop, and raise your own turkeys, I guarantee you That's going to be less expensive in the long run than buying this stuff out the store. Well, Mrs. H, feed. Mrs. H, feed is expensive. Yes, it is. Who you telling? You hear all these animals talking out here. Who you telling is expensive? But as we work to find solutions for feeding our animals and reducing the cost of feed, we have goats. We have Nina that is in milk right now, and using our animals to help take care of one another, right? So if we started soaking their feed in a little bit of milk, that stretches their feed a lot further than if we just gave them dry feed. Or if we started fermenting their feed, which is basically the same thing. You're just letting it soak over a period of 2 days or 3 days or so. That stretches their feed, right? That stretches their feed. And then allowing them to free range in a certain spot on our homestead, that stretches their feed. For our chickens, kitchen scraps. Our food comes from our garden anyway. So kitchen scraps, feeding them kitchen scraps, and maybe reducing the amount of fermented feed even, or dry feed even. That makes that feed go a lot further. Trust me. We're working this out, right? We're trying to figure this out right now to see what we can do. I can tell you over the last few months, the amount of feed that we have purchased has been significantly less than what we used to purchase because of the way we're experimenting with feeding them and seeing if our egg production is going to change drastically. We expect it to slow down. Because, that high protein feed, we're not giving it to them like that. We expect it to slow down, but we still have enough birds to give us enough eggs. We still have enough chickens to give us, eggs that will benefit us throughout the week, right? So it's worth it, right? But when it comes to raising turkeys, incubating their eggs, and then raising our own meat for that particular time frame that we need it for our family, it's for us, right? That, in my opinion, is going to be a whole lot less expensive than actually buying this turkey out of the store, especially if prices are going to continue to increase. And we know that they're going to continue to increase. We know this, right? So it's like, let's think ahead. Let's think ahead. We know personally that there are so many things that we won't be able to afford coming soon, right? Yeah. Remember a year ago we were talking about this topic where we were talking about how the prices of food is going to increase. So we all need to learn how to grow our groceries, right? We had this conversation a year ago, more than a year ago, 2 years ago. We had this conversation. We've been talking about this. So this is not really new words coming from Mrs. H's mouth. We've talked about this already. And so now we're in a time now, here we are, 2022. And yes, things have increased drastically from 2020. From 2021. 2023 is going to look a lot different than right now here in 2022. Right? Mark my words. You'll see. Right? Yeah. So what do we do to combat these things? We need to start figuring out how we can do this on our own. Again, I'm telling you, I'm so excited about this topic with Mr. H discussing what he wants to talk about, right? I'm really excited. I'm not going to give much away on that, but I'm really excited about that. Now, you all, I know it's hard. I know it's tough enough as it is. Depending on where you live, you all, if you live in a place where you might have a little backyard or something, consider putting up a little coop or something and get yourself some backyard chickens. If you got a little extra space, get yourself a couple of backyard turkeys, right? Do that. Even if you don't raise the turkeys yourself, um, uh, uh, like a whole little flock where you can collect eggs, even if you just found a farmer or a homesteader that you can buy the chicks from and raise them up for meat yourself, that's going to be cheaper than buying it out of the store. And at least you know what is being fed. At least you know how it's being taken care of. So when you eat it, you know what you got, right? Yeah, it's a little bit more work than just driving to the stove, picking up the package and bringing it home, cooking it. I know it's a lot more work involved in that, right? I know that. But it's well worth it. Believe you me, it's well worth it. So just consider that. How much more are you willing to pay before you decide, I got to do this? I think I better start doing this for myself. And I'm not telling you what to do. Mrs. H is not telling you what to do. But if you are renting a place that is telling you that you cannot do things to be more self-sustainable, you should be on the hunt right now for another place where the landlord is more understanding. So I'm not going to tell landlords not to tell tenants that they can't grow and raise chickens, and people living in HOAs renting, right? I'm not going to tell nobody what they should do with their property. I'm just going to say this to you who are the renters. If you are renting and they're telling you you can't, start looking right now for something different. Start looking now for another spot where they're not going to mind if you put up a little backyard chicken coop, right? And I know city ordinances could be like, well, you can have 2 chickens but no rooster. I get it. That's better than having nothing at all. So listen, I can't wait to do this topic with Mr. H. I'm always about to say this and give it up, give it away, but I gotta stop. Oh, it's going to be such a beautiful topic, and I can't wait. I'm so excited about it. I'm so looking forward to it. I really am. And we actually wanted to do this live yesterday, but he was just so tired, and so was I. We both were exhausted yesterday because I'm telling you, I worked so hard yesterday, I just didn't know if I was going to be able to have the strength to climb into bed. I was so tired yesterday. And Mr. H was so tired this morning. I normally get up with my husband to send him off to work. But I think this morning, I don't even remember hearing him get up. But he said I woke up, but I don't even remember that. And when he was grabbing coffee this morning, he was so tired that he spilled coffee everywhere. So when I came in the kitchen this morning and I had on my little slippers and I'm like, this floor is sticky. My slippers were like, quench, quench, quench. I'm like, what's going on in this kitchen? I saw the mop bucket in the kitchen and I looked in the mop bucket, number coffee. Coffee all on the, the stains on the counters and everywhere. And I'm looking like, oh my goodness, he must have spilled his coffee. And he tried, but I know he probably was trying to get out the door for work. He tried his best to get all that stuff up. And he called me this morning. He said, baby, I was so tired this morning. I felt like I was sleepwalking. He said, I spilled my coffee everywhere. I say, don't worry about it, baby. I took care of it all. I cleaned everything up. I figured you was in a rush or you was tired or something, but I took care of it. It's no problem. We both was tired. We both were tired. But that's what it's all about, really. When you're working to be sustainable, until you can get things to run like a well-oiled machine. And I don't know if that will ever happen, but there is a lot of work involved. So when you decide to get a few backyard chickens and you decide to start growing your groceries, don't believe the hype. When you see on TikTok, like my brother say, tic-tac. You see all these beautiful, flawless gardens, not a weed in sight. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and it's glistening off of the pond perfectly. Everything looks well together. It can be like that, but that ain't always the case. It's a lot of work, okay? But it's something you can do, and it's well worth it, all right? You also just ask yourself, how much more are you willing to pay? How much more are you willing to pay? Yeah. And when you're tired, what's going to be your next move? When you're tired of paying, man, when you're tired of paying, Mr. H saw some chicken wings in the store. $20 for a pack of wings. I laughed so hard at that, I didn't know what to do. So when you're tired of paying them prices, what's going to be your next move? Post it in the comment section below. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. What's your plan? When you're tired of paying them prices, what's your plan? Help everybody. Tell us all what you think that move should look like. All right? All right, y'all. That's going to do it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please share it, because this is something that I really feel like we all need to have this conversation about. See, no one, the folks that's making things like this impossible for folks like us to just have a decent meal, this conversation is not going to be had in that circle. Who cares, right? But for those of us who are what is considered to be just the little folks, if we have this conversation and we talk about it, you don't know how many people you could be helping just by having this conversation. Okay, so what's the game plan? What's our next move? What can we do? Or how can we work together? You know, what can we do, right? We need to have that conversation with one another, okay? Yeah. So y'all share this video. Post in the comment section below what you think the next move should be for folks who just say, I can't buy that. I can't do that. What do you think that should look like? And keep in mind, not everybody's pocketbooks ain't the same. So everybody just can't go buy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 1,100 acres of land and say this what you got to do. Everybody don't have funds that they can go and do that. Sometimes people got to work with what they got where they at, right? Or if they make a lateral move to something better, then that's definitely an option. But keep that in mind, all right, y'all? Thank y'all for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I'm going to get back to work, y'all. But I'm going to see y'all in the next video. My granddaughter is wanting to make tea cakes today. I'm like, let's do it, girl. See y'all in the next video.